Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski. On this podcast, I help coaches, mentors, and trainers scale their businesses and make more money online to reach their goals. On this episode, I want to talk about how do you keep your cool on camera and stop worrying what everybody else thinks when you're recording. This is a skill that I've learned over time, and it's something that I've developed, and I want to pass on to you some of the lessons that I've learned in this episode. Number one, the biggest thing is that the more you do it, the better that it's going to get. The more often that you show up on camera, the more you share, the better it's going to get. I used to be so terrified all the time when I would sit down to record stuff on camera that I would mess up, that I would say the wrong things, that I would make mistakes, that I wasn't perfectly positioned on screen here and things like that, that I maybe would look on camera. Like I have some notes right here that I'm reading that are helping keeping me on track. And that's one of the things that I talk about for people is that if you're using notes or things like that, you can actually share live with people that you're using notes. You can kind of remove the pressure of needing to be perfect all the time by being able to do that. And so that's one of the biggest things that helps you get out of your head and out of your own way when you do that. We can't let the fear of judgment of other people stop us from showing up. And the more consistent that you show up, the better things are going to be. I think one of the biggest problems that we have in our culture, in our society, and as a coach and mentor, is that we put way too much pressure on ourselves to be perfect when we show up on camera with people. We put this belief and pressure that you got to be perfect every time that you show up. And that if you're not perfect, well, gosh, you shouldn't even show up at all. And this is just not even rooted in reality because there's no such thing as perfection. There's nobody that is perfect enough out there when they're creating content, when they're creating value that they're putting out there that can be perfect all the time. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to mess up. You're going to pause. You're going to have stuff like that. You might say the wrong things. You might have the wrong cadence or tone. I have found that if I put the pressure on myself that I have to be perfect, I don't even show up very well. I don't even show up in a way that's going to serve people. And so I want you to realize, I know maybe you have been raised a different way, maybe you've been taught a different way, maybe you've experienced differently in your life or your business that you have to be a certain way. Understand that you don't have to be a certain way, that you can change this behavior about yourself. It's not a spirit of excellence. Perfectionism isn't excellence at all. Perfectionism is quite something entirely different. It's unreasonable, it's unrealistic, and it's just a recipe simply of failure because there's no such thing as being perfect in your life. And so understand that you're not always going to be perfect. Now, how can you show up as close to perfect as possible? Well, it's getting out of your head and getting out of your own way of that, having that perfection. What I do is this. I have a couple of different techniques to do. Number one, the first thing is I actually give myself the ability, the opportunity, and the permission to not be perfect. The permission to where I can flub up, I can mess up, I don't need to do everything perfectly. And it's okay for me to just be me when I'm showing up on camera or on screen with people. Number two is that I don't worry about that, but what I do is I visualize that everybody that I'm talking to is my ideal audience. They're not judgmental. So when I'm recording a podcast like this, or I'm recording a course, or I'm doing anything like that, I'm imagining that the people that I'm talking to you right now, they love everything that I'm talking about. They lean on every word that I share. They absolutely just think that I'm the best when I'm recording stuff. And I literally have a positive experience that I anchor everything that I'm doing when I'm recording it. That I just imagine that I'm talking with my favorite clients or my friends that are going to truly love what I'm talking about. They're not going to judge me harshly. And by the way, if people want to judge you harshly, let them. There's actually a great book. It's by Mel Robbins. It's called The Let Them Theory. And it's all about just like letting people do or think whatever they want. And you don't need to control it. Our need to control other people and their perceptions and their thoughts about us, and then tying that into a spirit of excellence or desire that we have to do everything perfect, is truly one of the biggest things that stops us from even showing up the way that we need to in our lives and our businesses. What you want to do is you want to create a sense of calm in your body. And there's two senses of this. Number one, you want calm, and then you want a flow state. So calm is created when you get out of the brain's natural fight or flight. And one of the best things you can do for this is you can even learn certain breathing exercises or mindfulness techniques to be able to do this, where you breathe in, you can focus on your breath in your belly while you're breathing in, and that will help calm you down and calm your nerves down. Another thing that I like to do sometimes is that I will actually record content. I'll take a nap or something like that, and then get on and record the content as soon as I wake up, something like that. These are all little techniques that I've learned over time that have helped me be able to get out of my head and out of my own way. Now, let's say that you're struggling to know exactly what to talk about. Well, what I do is I'll use a bullet point outline or just some notes or points that I want to talk about. I'll use ChatGPT to help me put these together. I'll talk with Chat about what I want to share. And I actually use a prompt sometimes where it says, okay, if I was creating a 1-hour TED Talk, make me an outline for everything that I'm talking about. In fact, this podcast right here actually did that before this. I used all of the techniques for this episode that I talk about when doing this to share with you, to be transparent, to show you that. And that's the other thing too, is that you can be transparent with your audience and say, hey, listen, I'm using some notes here. I'm talking through some notes just to keep me on track. And so if you see me looking down, that's exactly what that is. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need everything to be perfect. Realize that your goal is to transform people's lives and to connect with people. It's not to be graded on how good you showed up or how perfect your voice sounded or trying to impress people. Instead of trying to impress people, say that you want to impress upon them, that you have something valuable to share. And that's what your goal is that you're looking to share something valuable with people rather than do everything perfect. If you can learn how to anchor yourself in the positive feelings of connecting with a friend, connecting with somebody that you truly love, connecting with somebody that really loves you, and you can breathe through it, you can reframe the experience as a positive away from, I need to impress people, rather I'm trying to share my value. You'll show up so much better and more consistently. And then if you remind yourself constantly of this, and then here's the last thing that I do, is I create an environment in my life where this happens for me. I create my own destiny in this, is that I start to develop and I create patterns and frameworks, and I notice what gets me into that quote-unquote mood for recording more consistently. What gets me into that state of mind where I feel confident that I can show up to the best of my ability. And I cultivate that. And I've actually created scenarios. I create the scenarios in my life and in my mind to be able to show up, to be able to create that, and to be more consistent. And as I've done that, I've been able to do more, accomplish more, and be more in how I show up in my videos. And they just come across a lot easier. They come across a lot better. What I record, it connects with people better. And I let the pressure off. I take the pressure off of needing to be perfect. And I just share from my heart rather than from my mind. I am trying to stop sharing from the brain that's all logical and needs to be perfect, and rather I let it flow from my heart. And I share my voice so that I can impact people. The last thing is I believe and I know that my message is going to change people's lives. It's going to impact them. If I can pass this on to one person, it will impact them on a huge level. And so I always remind myself of that, is that the work that I do is that it impacts people on a huge level, that it makes them, that it'll make them and their families and their bloodlines better overall. And I don't let the fear hold me back, because I keep that in mind as about the people that I'm impacting overall. I also use resources like this podcast episode. You could literally save this episode, listen to it, play it back yourself in your day-to-day when you get stuck, and it will remind you of exactly what you can do. It's a process that you can literally go through in a framework that can help you every day, every time you record something, to show up better. Listen, I hope this has helped you. I hope that this has encouraged you. If it has, share it with somebody. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't hold it in. And listen, I'd love to see you as well inside of my Wealthy Coach Academy program, and maybe inside of one of our VIP programs in the future. I'd love to help you and come alongside you and work with you to be able to grow your business, to know exactly what to say, how to say it, and how to put everything together to help you reach your goals. We'll talk soon, everybody. Have a good one. Grow your life.